Jimmy Graham, tight end with the New Orleans Saints, has suffered a seizure, which is now being reported in most of the media and by the NFL as a medical episode. I find it funny that they're classifying this as a medical episode within the NFL and with most of the major media. I saw that term when I found out about this story this morning on the NFL ticker, where they show the news on the bottom of the screen as to the goings ons around the league. I've seen the story classified as medical episode on TMZ, in addition to regular news sources all around the internet throughout the day. Jimmy Graham, if you guys don't know, he played for the New Orleans Saints. Borderline Hall of Famer, probably. I don't think he's going to get in, though. But he almost had 9,000 yards as a Hall of Famer. Close to 9,000 yards as a borderline Hall of Famer, or as somebody who can make a case to have close to getting into the Hall of Fame. But the more important parts of the story, at least to me, is the whole medical episode. I have been watching preseason football this year. I'm actually getting ready to watch a game here shortly with the Jets. And there was a story on the NFL Network of what to do with the cardiac incidents that happened on the field. And they had showed, I believe, the Lions doing some sort of drill with some of their personnel and what to do in these instances. Now, this is something that is never happened before in my history of watching the league until last year, when you had the moment that stopped the world last year with Damar Hamlin. And that story still stinks to me. But you do know that he did suffer a heart-related injury on the field, and that was never seen. One thing that has changed, with the exception of that whole drill that I just told you that I saw on the NFL Network and what to do with these cardiac incidents, another thing that I've been noticing in the preseason is that whenever somebody's injured, actually somebody was injured in yesterday's game, or one of the games that I was watching yesterday where he was carted off the field. I think they classified it as a neck injury. Who knows if they make that as a medical incident or whatever new classification they want to run with in the future. But during that time where the guy was injured, normally they would show the injury after it happened. They'll show a replay of the injury, and then they would keep the camera honed in on the people that were working on him on the field, on the injured player. I mean, sometimes it'd be gruesome or brutal, but it was what they've done with the NFL since I've been watching as a kid. Now what they're showing is stuff around the crowd, stuff on the sidelines. They kind of with this injury that I saw yesterday and other ones that I've seen, they'll do everything not to talk about directly what's happening on the field when the medical personnel are administering to the player in real time. So I mean, I could expect that moving forward because of cases like Jimmy Graham's and Damar Hamlin. Instances that happen spontaneously, which are related to the heart, or a cardiovascular issue, like a stroke, or whatever they wanted to classify Damar Hamlin's supposed freak injury. The one thing that they want to veer away from, I feel, is the tea that everybody had to drink a couple years ago. The tea that was mandated a couple years ago. A lot of athletes, I'm assuming, did have to drink the tea, or chose to get the tea, or even if they weren't athletes, like regular folks like you and I know, that took the tea whether due to fear or due to work. They thought they had to take it, and subsequently did take it. Now, personally, I know a ton of people, not a ton, but I'm not an old guy. I know a lot of people that are within my age group that have either A, died. I mean, my wife and I were counting recently, since that administering, people that have died of natural causes or not by getting shot or in a car accident, if you will. I've counted in my circle 7 people. That's a lot. But the more alarming thing is that you're hearing about these athletes, whether it be LeBron James, some 18 years old, Jimmy Graham, I think he's 36, 37 years old. I mean, it's old for NFL years, but it's very young for cardiovascular instances. Damar Hamlin, I think, was 23 or 25 last year when he suffered his cardiac incident on the field. And we're 2 years out from the time where they were really pushing this, because I remember they were pushing it a lot in 2021. We're in 2023 now. If that is the underlying issue, because that's sailing into the unknown. Nobody knows like what the effects of that are, like if there are any complications from that. Will that be something that appears more, you know, like after 2 years, or cause I mean, like Damar Hamlin, if he went through that due to that, then it would have been 1 year after he was probably mandated or compelled to take it, if you will. Um, is this going to be something that we see more later on down the line, like, or is it going to be less because people probably aren't taking it as much? I don't know anybody who took 16 drinks of the tea. If you're going by 4 times a year that you were supposed to be taking it with boosters, whatever the hell like they were calling it, then like right now you'd probably be at 16 or 20 drinks of tea. I don't even think that the truest believers or the people that were really banging the table about taking the tea were taking it 4 times a year in 2023. I doubt it. But is it something that is going to take more effect as time progresses? Who knows? I mean, like, it is kind of dangerous. I mean, I just had a homeboy. I mean, I don't want to tell him like that might be what it is, but he's going through a real strange medical diagnosis as we speak, and he's a young man. In addition to a ton of old people that have like zero memory, like that I'm noticing within my personal life, that are super forgetful. A ton of young people that like you talk to that seem extremely vapid. Um, I'm not sure if one has to do with the other, but I am sure that given the NFL's response and mass media, they're not going to be telling you if something went wrong in that department. They're going to be classifying it as medical episodes, if you will. Let me know what you guys think. With that, I'm out. Thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland with me. Peace.